My prediction is that work will be optional.
Optional.
Optional. In those books, money is no longer, doesn't exist. But AI and humanoid robots will actually eliminate poverty.
It makes no sense to hire humans for most jobs. If I can just get, a $20 subscription or a free model to do what an employee does, first, anything on a computer will be automated. And next, I think humanoid robots are maybe 5 years behind. So in 5 years, all the physical labor can also be automated.
This is insane. Elon Musk's prediction is that work and money and all that stuff will be optional. Why? Because they're making humanoids, they're making robots to do all the work. Is this signs of end times or what? Like, what is going on? What's the point of even having money then? What's the point of working, guys? What in the world? So we're going to be reacting to Elon Musk here talk about this situation and his views on this topic. This is crazy stuff, but we got to be ready, because at the end of the day, we got to share the love of Jesus. We got to be a light for Jesus in the darkness when these things happen, when these things come into fruition, and be ready to share the gospel.
My prediction is that work will be optional.
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 In 20 years?
So
We'll take that.
How is that a good thing?
I mean, it'll be like playing sports or a video game or something like that. If you want to work, in the same way, like you can go to the store and just buy some vegetables, or you could grow vegetables in your backyard. It's much harder to grow vegetables in your backyard, but some people still do it because they like growing vegetables. That will be what work is like, optional. Now, between now and then, there's actually a lot of work to get to that point. And I always recommend people read Ian Banks' culture books to get a sense for what a probable positive AI future is like. And interestingly, in those books, money is no longer, doesn't exist. It's kind of interesting. And my guess is, if you go out long enough, assuming there's a continued improvement in AI and robotics, which seems likely, the money will stop being relevant at some point in the future.
Wow.
Now, there will still be constraints on power, like electricity and mass. The fundamental physics elements will still be constraints. But I think at some point, currency becomes irrelevant.
How?
Jensen, any thoughts?
By the way, the NVIDIA earnings call is later today.
And by the way, since currency is relevant.
Cheers.
Elon just wants to share with you some breaking news.
Whatever. That is so crazy. Is this possible? Does this have to do with end times? Them controlling all of the money resources, controlling all of the food resources, the power resources. What in the world is going on?
Everybody's jobs will be different. I think that's for sure. How the students learn will be different. How people do their work will be different, obviously, because a lot of the things that we do mundanely or arduously or very difficultly are going to be done very simply. And so we're going to be more productive from that sense. One of the things that I will say is that for most people or a company, if your life becomes more productive, and if the things that you're doing with great difficulty become simpler, it is very likely, because you have so many ideas, you'll have more time to go pursue things.
So now we're going to go to CBN News talking about this situation here.
Take a look at what Elon had to say first.
If you say, like, in the long term, where will things end up? Long term, I don't know what long term is. Maybe it's 10, 20 years, something like that. For me, that's long term. My prediction is that work will be optional.
Optional.
Optional. So
We'll take that.
yeah, I mean, it'll be like playing sports or a video game or something like that. If you want to work, in the same way, like you can go to the store and just buy some vegetables, or you could grow vegetables in your backyard. It's much harder to grow vegetables in your backyard, but some people still do it because they like growing vegetables. That will be what work is like, optional. It's kind of interesting. And my guess is, if you go out long enough, assuming there's a continued improvement in AI and robotics, which this seems likely, the money will stop being relevant at some point in the future.
That's crazy.
Currency becomes irrelevant. But AI and humanoid robots will actually eliminate poverty. And Tesla won't be the only one that makes them. I think Tesla will pioneer this, but there will be many other companies that make humanoid robots. But there is only basically one way to make everyone wealthy, and that is AI and robotics.
Well, I want to bring in CBN's Raj Nair here to discuss. Raj, I can't help but think about verse after verse in the Bible that tells us to value work, to see it as an offering to God, even as an act of worship. In Colossians 3:23, Paul wrote, "Work willingly at whatever you do as though you were working for the Lord rather than for people." And of course, Scripture repeatedly condemns laziness. I think about 2 Thessalonians 3:10 that says, "Those who are unwilling to work will not get to eat." So, Raj, what are your initial thoughts on what Scripture has to say, and of course, what Elon said?
Okay, so what I'm about to say might be a little scary, but I know that the response of the believer of Yeshua, a Christian, should not react in fear to what I'm about to say, which is this. He's right in the sense that if you look at the trajectory of where AI is going, and I think for maybe some older folks, baby boomers, Gen X, you don't really quite understand the capabilities of AI potentially, right? You might know that your grandson looks at ChatGPT and helps him with his homework. I don't think we've quite realized just how pervasively dominant AI can and will be very shortly. So a lot of sort of task-based jobs like accounting won't be necessary. Even things like lawyers asking all of their minions to get a case ready, just throw it in AI. I mean, the amount of things that will be done immediately will just eviscerate the workforce. And I don't think that we've quite come to grips with what that might look like. I mean, there's things like self-driving cars, which isn't necessarily AI, I guess it is, that will take out the trucking industry. I mean, there's the people, it is kind of funny that one of the safest jobs that you can think of for the next couple of decades is things like plumbers, construction, because anything that's like sort of work related that you can do on a computer, bookkeeping, statistics. I mean,
yeah. So is this signs that the end times will come? Like, you need robots, you need these physical things to completely get rid of all of work completely, in my opinion. And I don't know how you would get rid of money. Like, how would you buy things? Are things just given to you for free? Like, what? I don't understand the concept of that. But some of this stuff is true, 100%. What do you guys think?
All that to be said, I don't think he's wrong in the predictions of where work is going, which leads me, I think, and we've actually done a lot of referencing this verse in different videos recently, Trey, which is Revelation 13, chapter 16, which is the idea of this mark that you will basically be required to have in order to buy or sell, because the idea of universal basic income is such a out there concept, right? But like, if there are no jobs, I don't know where this goes 10, 15, 20 years ago. And obviously Elon, hate him or love him, he's brilliant and he can see where this thing is going. So let me just read it real fast. Basically, it forced all people, great and small, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hands or on their foreheads, so that they could not buy or sell unless they had the mark, which is the name of the beast and the number on its name. I think obviously that's AI and our dependency mixed with a nefarious entity. Some people say it is AI that is this nefarious entity, where it could start to require these things that what once seemed like science fiction could now just be like tomorrow. And so but I know this is very science fictiony, very Terminator-y, very Matrix-y, very scary. But I think our response as believers in Yeshua is like, guys, Jesus has already won this battle. Our response, this might seem unrelated. We did this story a couple of days ago about the genocide in Nigeria, and the story we did that has gone kind of viral is the idea that we highlighted this lady in Nigeria who's worshiping in spite of this genocide. And I think with AI and all this like scary unknown, I think our response should be the gospel. I think our response should be praise and worship to the King who's defeated sin and death. I think our response should be loving people who are scared, giving hope, sending encouragement. So even though this is happening, AI will be taking millions of jobs. Our response as Jesus followers shouldn't be fear.
Yeah.
It should be putting more of our faith and trust in Jesus.
Amen. So this goes along with the idea that there will not be any jobs. And this guy goes on the Diary of the CEO, and he claims by 2027, there's going to be AGI, artificial intelligence, taking jobs. So what will that look like as well here? So let's react to this.
You have made a series of predictions, and they correspond to a variety of different dates. And I have those dates in front of me here. What is your prediction for the year 2027?
We're probably looking at AGI as predicted by prediction markets and tops of the labs.
So we'd have artificial general intelligence by 2027. And how would that make the world different to how it is now?
So if you have this concept of a drop-in employee, you have free labor, physical and cognitive, trillions of dollars of it. It makes no sense to hire humans for most jobs. If I can just get, a $20 subscription or a free model to do what an employee does, first, anything on a computer will be automated. And next, I think humanoid robots are maybe 5 years behind. So in 5 years, all the physical labor can also be automated. So we're looking at a world where we have levels of unemployment we've never seen before. I'm not talking about 10% unemployment, which is scary, but 99%. All you have left is jobs where, for whatever reason, you prefer another human would do it for you. But anything else can be fully automated. It doesn't mean it will be automated in practice. A lot of times, technology exists, but it's not deployed. Video phones were invented in the 70s. Nobody had them until iPhones came around. So we may have a lot more time with jobs and with world which looks like this. But capability to replace most humans and most occupations will come very quickly.
Wow. Okay, so let's try and drill down into that and stress test it. So a podcaster like me, would you need a podcaster like me?
So let's look at what you do. You prepare, you ask questions, you ask follow-up questions, and you look good on camera.
Thank you so much.
Let's see what we can do. Large language model today can easily read everything I wrote and have very solid understanding. Better. I assume you haven't read every single one of my books.
No. Yeah.
That thing would do it. It can train on every podcast you ever did, so it knows exactly your style, the types of questions you ask. It can also find correspondence between what worked really well, like this type of question really increased views, this type of topic was very promising, so you can optimize, I think, better than you can because you don't have a data set. Of course, visual simulation is trivial at this point.
So you can make a video within seconds of me sat here and...
So we can generate videos of you interviewing anyone on any topic very efficiently, and you just have to get likeness, approval, whatever.
Are there many jobs?
Am I about to lose my job to AI? That's crazy.
That you think would remain in a world of AGI? If you're saying AGI is potentially going to be here, whether it's deployed or not, by 2027, what kind... And then, okay, so let's take out of this any physical labor jobs for a second. Are there any jobs that you think a human would be able to do better in a world of AGI still?
So that's the question I often ask people. In a world with AGI, and I think almost immediately we'll get superintelligence as a side effect. So the question really is, in a world of superintelligence, which is defined as better than all humans in all domains, what can you contribute? And so you know better than anyone what it's like to be you. You know what ice cream tastes to you. Can you get paid for that knowledge? Is someone interested in that? Maybe not a big market. There are jobs where you want a human. Maybe you're rich and you want a human accountant for whatever historic reasons. Old people like traditional ways of doing things. Warren Buffett would not switch to AI. He would use his human accountant. But it's a tiny subset of a market. Today, we have products which are man-made in US as opposed to mass-produced in China. And some people pay more to have those. But it's a small subset. It's almost a fetish. There is no practical reason for it. And I think anything you can do on a computer could be automated using that technology.
You must hear a lot of rebuttals to when you say it, because people experience a huge amount of mental discomfort when they hear that their job, their career, the thing they got a degree in, the thing they invested $100,000 into is going to be taken away from them. So their natural reaction, for some people, is that cognitive dissonance that, no, you're wrong. AI can't be creative. It's not this, it's not that. It'll never be interested in my job. I'll be fine because. You hear these arguments all the time, right? It's really funny. I ask people, and I ask people in different occupations. I'll ask my Uber driver, are you worried about self-driving cars? And they go, no. No one can do what I do. I know the streets of New York. I can navigate like no AI. I'm safe. And it's true for any job. Professors are saying this to me. Oh, nobody can lecture like I do. Like, this is so special. But you understand it's ridiculous. We already have self-driving cars replacing drivers. That is not even a question if it's possible. It's like, how soon before you're fired? Yeah, I mean, I've just been in LA yesterday, and my car drives itself. So I get in the car, I put in where I want to go, and then I don't touch the steering wheel or the brake pedals, and it takes me from A to B, even if it's an hour-long drive without any intervention at all. I actually still park it, but other than that, I'm not driving the car.
Yeah, I've never done that before. It's scary. But man, that's the world we live in. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Will you have your job, or is AI going to take it? Very fascinating stuff. Keep on trusting in Jesus. Know that he is good, and know that he has a plan no matter what. Anyway, guys, have an amazing day, and God bless.